Welcome to Visuality Systems, the SMB protocol experts. In today's tutorial, we'll be discussing key SMB protocol security measures that will help you safeguard your data and your network. As part of Microsoft's Secure Future initiative, launched in 2023 to address the growing scale and complexity of cyber attacks, Windows 11 version 2.4H2 and Windows Server 2025 now include important SMB features that make your data, your users, and your organization safer. Most of these features are enabled by default, ensuring that your network is secure from the start. The security measures introduced by Microsoft, all supported by Visuality Systems' SMB protocol software libraries, include SMB signing required by default, SMB and TLM blocking. Insecure guest authentication is now off by default in Windows Pro editions. SMB dialect management, SMB client encryption mandate, deprecation and disabling of remote mail slots. SMB over QUIC is now supported not only in the Azure edition as it was in Windows Server 2022, but also in the Data Center and Standard edition starting from Windows Server 2025. SMB over QUIC Client Access Control. Support for SMB on alternative ports. This video tutorial covers SMB over QUIC Client Access Control, a feature that restricts which clients can connect to an SMB over QUIC server. Client access control uses allow and block lists to specify which devices are permitted or denied access. This feature is optional and not enabled by default, but when configured, it provides an additional layer of protection without altering the authentication method in use. Before this change, any client that trusted the server's certificate could connect to an SMB over QUIC server. There were no built-in controls to restrict access based on specific devices, relying solely on certificate trust for authentication. After the change, a client needs its own certificate and be on an allow list to complete the QUIC connection before any SMB connection occurs. The client trusts the server via a valid shared root authority key, and the client certificate is added to a trust list managed by the server. You get more protection without changing SMB authentication and user experience. Admins can also completely disable the SMB over QUIC client, allow connection to specific servers, or revoke certificates. Certificates containing multiple subject alternative names are supported. To configure SMB over QUIC Client Access Control, we first need to retrieve the certificate thumbprints of the client certificates. This can be done using the getChildItem command in PowerShell, specifying the local machine's certificate store. The output lists the available certificates, displaying their thumbprints and subjects. These thumbprints will be used to define which clients are allowed or blocked from accessing the SMB over QUIC server. Next, we store the specific client certificate in a variable by filtering the list of certificates based on the subject name. This command retrieves the certificate from the local machine store where the subject matches the specified name. The thumbprint of the selected certificate will be used to configure client access control for SMB over QUIC. Now we retrieve the SHA-256 hash of the client certificate, which will be used for access control. Next, we create an SMB client certificate mapping by associating the certificate's thumbprint with a specific namespace. To grant access, we use the Grant SMB Client Access to Server command. This can be done in two ways. 1. By specifying the SHA-256 hash of the certificate. 2. By using the certificate issuer's subject name to allow all certificates issued by the same authority. These commands ensure that only approved clients can connect to the SMB over QUIC server. To connect to an SMB over QUIC server, we use the new SMB mapping command, specifying the remote server's DNS name and share. Next, the set SMB client configuration command disables SMB over QUIC by setting Enable SMB QUIC to false. This step is optional, but can be useful for testing or enforcing a specific transport method. When prompted, confirm the change by selecting Y for Yes. When implementing SMB over QUIC Client Access Control, follow these best practices to enhance security. Do use certificate-based authentication to strictly control which clients can connect to the server. Test your access control settings in a non-production environment before rolling them out. Don't rely only on firewall rules for security. Certificate-based access control is essential for end-to-end protection. Do not overlook certificate renewal. Expired certificates can lead to access disruptions or security risks. Thank you for watching. Want to know more? Explore the other videos in this tutorial series, visit our website, or reach out for more insights. Visuality Systems, the SMB protocol experts.